the headliner. Let me say it again, the headliner. That's what the contract says. Monique is to be the last in person on the damn stage. She is the headliner. But what niggas had to understand about me, I ain't for that Hollywood. If you cross the line, Oprah, if you cross the line, Tyler, I'm gonna see you cool. Come on, the cold train, nigga. Choo-choo! Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley. Feel sorry for D.L. Hughley's family. I feel sorry for his wife, because how do you suck the of a coward?
A few moments later.
I decided it would be wrong for me not to give somebody a chance based on things that they'd never done to me. That would have been wrong to me. And now I know what Tyler Perry knows. I know what Lee Daniels knows. I know what Oprah knows. I know what Steve Harvey knows. I know what Charlamagne the God knows. I know what Netflix knows. Saying yes to Monique is an occupational hazard. Monique had just gotten there. She's supposed to be there at 8:40. She had just gotten there, gone at 8:40. She got there at 8:38. What Monique was trying to do was to slow walk the show. She didn't end up getting on for 30 minutes. The oldest trick in the world is, if I want to change the order and I don't have merit, I'll try to make people wait so long that everybody gets nervous and go, please, just go on so we can avoid a conflict. That didn't happen. Monique got on stage. Monique actually felt like she had merit. She would have done one of three things. Either she would have took it up with the promoter, and she did, and the promoter said, we're going on, and whether you're going or not, that's a different thing. You would have not done it, but she knew she had to get on stage, or she would have been in breach of contract, or she would have come to talk to me. She didn't ever, and I emphatically emphasize this, she never once talked to me. I haven't seen Monique in years. I didn't see her at the venue before, after, or during. I haven't spoken or seen Monique. So if you really thought that you had a legitimate contract dispute, you would have come to me and said, hey, I have this contract and you had this contract. Notice not one thing on that contract, not one person she has on that contract, not one thing happened. Do you know why? Because it wasn't legitimate. You wrote your contract, you and your daddy. You proceeded to say things that were so patently insulting that it was galling. It was galling. You asked in subsequent conversations why I have a dog, a support dog. What kind of person has a support dog? I have that dog because my father died. My children and family decided they would get a dog from where he was from, and I named the dog after my father. I don't have a dog to keep people away from me. I have a dog so I have my father with me all the time. That is an act of love which you know very little about. You proceeded to assault my sexuality. You have the temerity to assault someone's sexuality, a man's sexuality, given who you lay next to?
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again to hit y'all another video. Hope y'all are having a very great day. Hope y'all are having a very great week also. My day is going absolutely magnificent. Big shout out to all the channel members, all the subscribers of the Trey King Show family. And much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story about Monique, yes, Monique and D.L. Hughley, as a lot of you all may have heard by now. Now, this story right here really comes as no surprise because for the last 5.5 years, really more than that, Monique has been in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Now, look, before I make this video, before I start actually, let me say this. I have no problem with Monique. I actually like Monique. I have no problem with D.L. Hughley. I like D.L. Hughley. But the thing I don't like is a bunch of mess. It's a bunch of BS. Now, my thing is this also. If you have a problem with somebody, you should do what? You should take it up with that person first. You know, grown folks should do what grown folks are supposed to do. And you would think somebody being 59, almost 60 years old like Monique, that she would learn that by now. But evidently, she did not get that memo. Now, recently, her and D.L. Hughley went on a tour together, basically called the Comedy Explosion, where they was doing their stand-up shows or whatnot. So a lot of people was tuning into that. It was like a good thing, you know, to see Monique back on the stage doing what we felt that she was born to do. Now, she can do what she want to do, but, you know, we like seeing the sister on stage. But what is up with all this bitterness? And this is what happened to people who sell their soul for a jelly roll. Look, everything in Hollywood is not always fun and games. Everything in Hollywood is not always smoke and mirrors. Sometimes you have to look a little bit deeper into the substance. Now, this big dispute that's going on between DL Hughley and Monique, basically about a damn contract dispute over who is the headliner. But I want to ask you all this before I jump into this story. If you're a headliner, don't you get paid more than anybody on the show? If you also the headliner, don't you get like pretty much like run of the show, like you run it how you want to run it or whatnot? And also my third question is this. Have you not noticed, like when you go to these comedy shows and whatnot, the headliner picture always be in the center and their picture always be the biggest, as you all can tell from right here? So my thing is this, if Monique really is the headliner, because all this about her being the headliner, why wasn't she getting paid the most money? And also, why isn't her face in the center of the program, as you all see? Now, she called DL Hughley out at the comedy show. Like, she couldn't wait till she got home, got on social media. No, she went right on stage and called him out on stage and said a bunch of derogatory things about DL Hughley. It didn't have the nerve to sit up here and tell people this is what you call black empowerment, lifting black people up. And it's really not, because nothing Monique ever done in her career was designed to uplift black people, especially that movie Precious. They could have kept that movie and shoved it deep in somebody's ass somewhere. Anyway, now, what really pissed me off about this whole thing is the fact that she had the nerve to try to put black women against black men, basically talk about black femininity, where supposedly black men are holding women down, and had nerve to sit up here after she said that to talk about DL Hughley's wife. So if it's all about uplifting black women, how could you din around and talk about that man's wife in a sexual way, which what they do in the bedroom has nothing to do with Monique? And also a bunch of other things. Even talking about the man dog, and kept bringing up the old names like Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry, yes. Even spoke one thing about Lee Daniels, even though it wasn't in such a bad light as the other ones. And also her big best friend, Oprah. But anyway, this is what happened when you sell your soul for a jelly roll. And also I want to tell you all this before I start the story, is that when you're in the industry, you have to pay to play. Yes, you have to pay to play. And basically, when you play with the devil, sooner or later, you will get burned. But anyway, I will break the rest down in the story. I'm going to read a quick snippet from the story, and I am going to give my opinion. All of it. Surely, as we go, DL Hughley unleashes lengthy response to Monique, saying basically, she tried to eviscerate me. Yes, she tried to eviscerate you, but we seen right through that BS. And once again, I am not pro DL, and I am not pro Monique. I am pro what's right and what I feel is right. And true, I'm not always right, but yet and still, I try to stand for what's right, because if you have a problem with somebody, you take it up with that person. And if you do bring it out in the public, keep it between you and who? Yes. Somebody got good sense today. You and that person. How dare people sit up here and have a problem with you? They want to talk about your mama, your daddy, your dog, and everybody else don't have a damn thing to do with you. Let's stick to the facts. Anyway, let's break down some facts. Now, DL Hughley unleashed a lengthy response to Monique after she called out the comedian over a contract dispute during her performance in Detroit on Saturday night. Now, if you pay to go to a comedy show, you're paying for what? To see comedy. You're paying to see these people, but also to see them do what they're known for, which is to act, which is to do their stand-up. And if you go to a concert, you're going to do what? You're going to hear people sing. You're not going to hear Prince, you know what I'm saying, God bless the dead, or Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston talk about their personal life. You're going to hear them sing their hits. You feel what I'm saying? So why did not Monique get on stage and do what she was best known for, which is giving a good performance? But this is what happened when you feel people have done you wrong in the industry. She has so much bitterness with her, and it clearly shows now. Because like I said, I made a video back in 2017 around March or April of 2017. For those who've been rocking with me for the last 6 years almost, you all already know about that video. And I took up for Monique, basically called her beautiful, because to me, she is a beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? Every woman is beautiful in their own way. I'm not trying to sound like no simp or whatnot, but that's what you call uplifting somebody instead of putting them down. So what I'm trying to say is this right here, is that, you know, you have to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and know when to walk away. Know when to shut the hell up. And that's what's wrong with a lot of people. But one thing I will say about DL that I really admire about him is the fact that he did not air her out Saturday night. No, after Monique got on stage, he got on stage and did his performance. And from what I heard, he did a very great job. He kept it very professional. And that's what you have to do. And a lot of YouTubers forget that, even though we're not on the level of a DL Hughley or Monique. But yet and still, you know, you're in the industry, you're in entertainment. You have to remember to stay somewhat professional. That's why you see a lot of YouTubers from yesterday that are not here today, because they forgot to humble themselves and stay humble and at the same time stay professional. It's no difference than me having things going on in my life because I'm a human just like the rest of you all. So of course I'm going to have things going on in my life, things that I don't like, people that I may get into it with. Yes, people that's hating on me or vice versa. But at the same time, how would you all feel every day I come on this camera and I get on this camera, I tell you all about my problems and about just regular BS? Sooner or later, you all gonna get tired of hearing that. And that's pretty much what the people is with Monique, with this situation. Because all this goes way back to the movie Precious. Now, I want to know this right here. Who in the hell wrote the contract for the movie Precious also? And the fact that she only got paid a measly $50,000 to sell your soul in that movie. And that movie has to be one of the worst movies of black women being portrayed in Hollywood cinema that I ever seen. Now, DL Hughley said the comedian showed up to the show in Detroit 2 minutes before the time she was expected to arrive. Now, according to DL Hughley, Monique arrived late in an effort to change the order of the show to make herself the headliner. But as you all may have heard Monique say, that she does not open for anybody. You know what I'm saying? That she is the headliner. So if you don't open for anybody, why is DL going last on this list right here? Because as you all can see, the show lineup, DL was also headlining. So if what you said is true, Monique, why does it have DL right here being the headliner some nights, and some nights you're being the headliner? But at the same time, this could have easily got resolved if you would have talked to DL, and if that didn't work, you talked to the promoters of the show or talk to your husband/manager, because evidently your life ain't been straight since you got with this man. And let's just keep it real. Monique was on top of the world. Monique had a show called The Parkers. Monique had a show on BET, which went downhill, called The Monique Show. After her and Deborah Lee got into it, yes. And Deborah Lee put all her stuff out there in the parking lot because she tried to go against Deborah Lee, said some bad things about Deborah Lee. And for those who know about the incident, know I'm telling the truth. Now imagine if you going against the president, the CEO of BET, and then you come to work the next morning and all your stuff is sitting out in the parking lot. Your makeup, your wigs, your costumes, everything is out in the parking lot. So it goes to show you that Monique is harboring a lot of bitterness towards people in the industry. And it's sad, you know what I'm saying, that she feels that way. And hopefully she can get that hatefulness out of her heart and smile again, because the people still love her because they still showing up to see her. But anyway, now this is what things took a turn at the worst when Monique proceeded to really go in personally on DL Hughley and also a few other people, but she really went more in on DL. And I'm like, well, damn, I really thought they was cool. And at the same time, I think DL did too. And Monique proceeds to say, that's what the mother effing contract says. Monique is to be the last mother effing person on the goddamn stage. She is the headliner. That's why I signed the contract for her. So if you signed the contract, why aren't you headlining every single night? If you are the headliner, since you say that you have 30 plus years in the game, because I didn't see you on Def Coming to Jam back in the day. I didn't see you on BET Coming View back in the day. But who I did see on Def Coming to Jam one time was DL, and who I seen regularly, he was even hosting BET Coming View, for those who remember the show back in the mid 90s or whatnot. DL Hughley was a regular on there. So was Ricky Smiley. Then Gary Owens came around like 97 or something like that. So what I'm trying to say is this: for you to sit up here and say that you've been in the game 30 plus years like DL just started yesterday is a slap, number one, to DL and other people who've been putting it down for a long time. Because trust me, you're not the only one who have been putting it down, Monique. Look, the people love you, but your bitterness is really showing worldwide, and people are seeing this. But anyway, DL says this also. She proceeds to eviscerate me. He said, not just me, but Steve Harvey. Like, really, you still mad at Steve Harvey because you felt Steve Harvey supposed to go against Oprah and Tyler Perry. Like, what kind of fool do you think Steve Harvey is? Like, look, I don't like everything Steve Harvey do, and I'm sure a lot of people don't like everything I do. But do you expect this man to put his livelihood on the line, lose his connection, get blackballed just like you done got blackballed in the industry just to protect you or whatnot? Like, let's really think about that. And true, we know that Steve Harvey called you his little sister, but that's just talk. But be for real, do you think this man actually going to go against Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels and Oprah Winfrey just for you, even though somewhat you and Lee Daniels made up, I think, a few months ago where he apologized, and then you still said something about the man at the show in Detroit? Like, what really is going on? So DL proceeds to go on and says, not just me, but Steve Harvey, my wife, my dog. But also the thing that she said about the man's wife was really very upsetting. Also, she going to say basically, how do you suck the wood of a coward. Basically asking this man's wife, how does she suck her man's penis and he's a coward? But at the same time, we ought to ask you, how do you suck Sydney's penis when he's supposed to be bisexual? That's not me saying that. That's Flame Monroe saying that. He says it right here. Listen.
You tore me down for my lifestyle and then turned around and married my lifestyle.
Oh. And also DL Hughley said it.
Assault my sexuality. You have the temerity to assault someone's sexuality, a man's sexuality, given who you lay next to?
When you make the statement, your name is DL, what the fuck it stand for? How far you bending over? So when you said DL stand for down low, basically making a joke of this man's initial, which stand for Daryl Lynn. That's his name. You know what I'm saying? DL, Daryl. L is for the Lynn. So you sit up here playing with this man's name, but then DL bounced back and said this right here.
Assault my sexuality. You have the temerity to assault someone's sexuality, a man's sexuality, given who you lay next to?
Which is really a classy way of putting it. Because for you to sit up here and come after me or whatnot, but you're sleeping next to the type of man that you claiming that I am. So really, who is looking like a fool now? Also, DL goes on to say, my dog even talked about the man dog. Like, what kind of person talk about a pet? It's just an animal. It's a dog. But the reason why DL has the dog, since Monique want to put it out there, and this is coming out his mouth, listen to him say it.
You ask in subsequent conversations why I have a dog, a support dog, what kind of person has a support dog. I have that dog because my father died. My children and family decided they would get a dog from where he was from, and I named the dog after my father. I don't have a dog to keep people away from me. I have a dog so I have my father with me all the time. That is an act of love which you know very little about.
So the dog is sentimental to him. It reminds him of his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Because evidently the man really loved his daddy. And like he said, something that she would never know anything about. What is love? Now, I don't know if Monique never been loved or whatnot, but truthfully, from what I see, she needs love. And then after saying all that, talking about the man dog, talking about the man wife, talking about his wife sucking on him or whatnot, and then Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry, and Oprah Winfrey, DL checks her and said, what does all that has to do with the contract dispute? This does not have anything to do with the contract dispute. And then DL proceeds to say, you spend half of your time talking about your grievances and what you didn't get and who did this to you. But at the same time, you can't always point people out to be the damn attacker or whatnot, when it's clearly that you've been playing this victim card for a long time. And the people are really seeing it. But how you sit up here and dog this man out on stage when the people pay their hard-earned money to see you do a performance. And then the icing on the cake was when DL said Precious was not a movie. Precious was an autobiography, because that's who you really are. So we'll leave it right there. But you all let me know what you think about this situation. Do you think DL is wrong, or do you think Monique was wrong? And also, what was the best way to handle this? Because in my eyes, the best way to handle this was off stage and not in the public eye. Because anytime you put your business out there in the public eye, guess what? The bloggers, me, myself, any other people, news people, whatnot, they're going to speak on it. So you cannot get mad when people give their opinion, because guess what? You put it all out there for people to give their opinion. But at the same time, being damn near 60 years old, you should learn by now to humble yourself, watch your words, and also work out your dispute. That's how you get somewhere in life. But at the same time, it seems like to me that Monique is mad at the wrong people. And the main person she should be mad at is herself, and then her husband, who is said to be on the down low. So you sit up here and talk about people being on the down low, but at the same time, you marry into that lifestyle like Flame Monroe said. Because guess what? Watch what you say, because it might come back to bite you. Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this situation. And also to Monique, if you see this video, which you probably will, much love to you, sister. We love you, but at the same time, you have to learn to let go and let God. You feel me? Move on with your life. If you feel that all these people did you wrong, why would you still try to work with them and then out them on stage after DL Hughley clearly they want to work with you in the first place, but he was basically talked into it, and that's what he say. But at the same time, both of you all are black, and also both of you all are older people. You can work through this. It's not that serious. You feel what I'm saying? Just come together and move on. That's all you have to do. Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this situation, and who do you feel was right or wrong? Is Monique right, or is DL right? Let me know in the comment section. If there's anything I may have missed or misinformed, which is not my true intent, please let me know in the comment section, or you can email me and we can talk about it more there. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Also, share the video with your family and friends. Till next time, you all stay blessed. And I will see y'all soon on the next Trey King Show. And guess what? I'm out.